We got the whole world in our hands. We got the whole stinking world in our hands. We got the whole bloody world in our... Hi! Today's lesson is on recycling. We do have a budget for the set. We're very excited about it. We want a great set, but we also want to use stuff that's lying around. A lot of times when you do a show, you make specialized pieces of lumber and other materials that really aren't usable for anything else. And most small theater companies like us hang on to those pieces just in case they can be used again. So, in addition to the new materials that we're getting for this show, we're reusing as much as we can from the old shows. So, let me introduce you to some new friends and tell you what they're going to do for us next. Much like actors. This is from our New York production of Friar and the Nurse. We had to build a touring set that was a quick setup and take down, and usually behind the set you'll see these are called jacks or braces, and it's a very simple structure. I was actually thinking I would just take it apart and use this lumber, but as it happens, we are building a tree, and I'm trying to cogitate how exactly to build this tree from the skeleton out. And what I'm going to do is create a basic skeleton, sort of in and around some platforms that we need in certain spots, and then over that skeleton we'll have a little bit of chicken wire, and then some fabric that's going to be soaked in papier-mâché type glue, and then Tim Parati is going to paint it, and it's going to look like a tree. So, we start here with this basic piece, which happens to be in a great shape, and because it's 2x4, it's fairly strong, so we can start with this as our base. Our last show, The Expanding Sky, we had turning what we call periactoids. We call them pterodactyls, actually, so I'm not sure what the correct name is. But it's sort of a big triangular thingy that rotates with three different looks, three different theatrical flaps on each side. So on this side you've got, you know, the wall of the lobby in the hotel, and then you turn it and you rotate it, and on this side then there's like the sky with the stars and everything. So those were created with a PVC pipe down the middle and one of these at each end, and then curved ribbing, and then a 1/4-inch Luan mahogany, which is a very thin plywood. It's flexible. So this funny shape, obviously, is not really very versatile, but this is a great chunk of lumber, so I didn't throw it away. So I'm going to use these. We have 6 of these. I'm going to use 3 of them as the base of this tree. See, part of the deal is since we're starting construction early, we can't just build onto the set, and so as much as we can build ahead of time, that is going to help us out. So I'm creating these pieces that can quickly be, once we get the space, screwed together, glued together, and get covered as quickly as possible, because we have to let the glue dry before we can paint, and we only have a week or so before, you know, from the time we load in to the time of the show. So I'm preparing these pieces ahead of time so they can all be screwed together on Sunday after natural selection closes. So this is the base for this guy. So screw it on the bottom, and then this can just be put in place very quickly, and it's nice and stable. We'll have a piece of wood there. So that's the base. And then I took these other pieces and cut them in half, so that down here toward the bottom, depending on the part of the tree, we can either have sort of a short graduated root going into the floor, or a longer one, if that's more pleasing to the eye. This is more interesting to look at, but depending on where it is on the stage, actors are going to trip over it, so we try to actor-proof things as much as possible. So we'll keep it short in places in high traffic areas. Now the higher part of the tree, I've taken some other scrap. This, by the way, is this is half-inch plywood, which is not generally good for platforms. It's not, normally you'll build your platforms with 3/4-inch plywood or thicker. This thinner plywood, this is for this type of job where you're creating a shape and you need some stability and strength, but it's still fairly lightweight. It's just a half-an-inch thick. This piece is going to go sort of on here, and then you'll see, at least in 2 dimensions, we've got the shape of a tree, you know, from up in the great trunk area down to the root area. And then what we'll do from there is, you know, so we've got that 2-dimensional cutout piece. We're going to take the 3 remaining pieces of this and just cut out ribs, like, you know, sort of like boomerang shapes, but more curved, right? We'll get those pieces and we'll apply them to here so that we've got this kind of curved thing happening, and then we'll put chicken wire over that, and then that will be the base that we'll put the fabric on, and we'll have a nice 3-dimensional tree thing. I hope. Now I shall dance. Okay, I gotta go to work.
Woohoo! Thank you for joining us.